Hello, freak bitches.
Yeah.
And I think I learned from that experience. I enjoyed the experience of being on ecstasy, but the come down was just way too brutal. I was like, this is not good for you. I think shit like chemicals, that man-made stuff that doesn't exist in nature, or LSD sort of does, and like Hawaiian baby woodrow seeds and some other things you can actually extract.
Did you ever do GHB?
No, I heard that's fucking. I heard that shit is really dangerous.
I OD'd. I was in a coma.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened?
I took.
What the fuck happened?
It's so dumb what I did. I took ecstasy, and then I was having some drinks. Like I probably had like 4 or 5 drinks, which is like liquor drinks, right? Like, and then I was like, I don't feel this ecstasy at all. And this guy comes.
How old are you, by the way?
I'm a freshman in college.
So
18, 19. Yeah. So then he's like, he's got a gallon of GHB in the back. Now you're supposed to take, like if you take a capful, like if you take a water cap. Yeah. That's what we did. We would take it like this. You'd pour it into that.
And that's it.
And then that's it.
Yeah.
Well, he has a milk jug. So he gives it to me, and I'm like, he's like, here, just take a swig. Well, and when I look back on it, I realize what I did too. It was just like out of like not wanting to be rude, basically. Like politeness almost killed me. Is that I opened it and it's too heavy to like, a milk jug just is like a thin little cap.
Right.
Right? You can't fill it. So you're trying to like, well, how much? So I realized I went like this, and I realized there's too much in my mouth. There's 6 capfuls in my mouth.
Oh, no.
So I'm not going to spit it in what he's going to sell. If I spit it out, it's like I'm spitting $50 on the ground. So I just swallow it.
Oh, my God.
And then I give it back to him.
What kind of an asshole has a fucking milk jug of GHB around his house?
Yeah, man. And then I fucking continue drinking. And that's the one thing about GHB is you're not supposed to have any alcohol with it. Like, not even a drink.
So you black out, you go into a coma.
Yeah.
What do you remember?
I remember all the way up until like moments before blacking out. Like I was hanging out. I realized that I was like fucking high as shit. Like permagrin. Like and just like we should hang out, man. Like buying drinks for like just being a fucking asshole. And then I remember I sat down and then I blacked out. And my sister was at this bar. We were all at a bar. My sister was like. Everyone was like, just let him sleep it off, and she's the one that fucking called the ambulance. Like they had to, and then I woke up with like tubes and all kinds of shit.
Wow.
Yeah, it sucked. It was really sucked. Don't overdose on GHB. It's not fun.
Yeah, be rude.
Be rude. Spit that shit out. Spit it on the ground.
Man, yeah, I've never fucked with that stuff. I've never fucked with cocaine, heroin.
Here's the thing too about GHB is that. In its real natural form, like in what it really is, it's like it can be regulated. It's used like as an anesthetic in like parts of Europe, but when you buy it from like street level people, it's obviously fucked with. Like people will spike it with anything.
Even if they didn't spike it, you drank so much of it, right?
Oh yeah, I would have been fucked.
But still, they used to sell that shit at GNC.
Yeah,
right. It used to be for bodybuilders to help them recover,
and that was kind of the thing, like when we started, like I used to sample it and stuff. You would it was under the guise of like, well, I'm lifting weights, like I gotta fucking get stronger.
I gotta get fucked up. I'm lifting weights.
Man.
Oh, that's hilarious, man.
Those shows, man, like The Honeymooners, that's a window into another time, man.
Yeah, sure.
Watching Lucille Ball, watching The Honeymooners. The Honeymooners, every week, Ralph Cramden would threaten to beat the fuck out of his wife.
Yeah.
Not just occasionally.
Yeah.
Every fucking week, he would like, pow! Right to the moon!
Yeah.
He would talk about punching her in the face and knocking her to the moon.
She deserved it.
But stop and think about, like, culturally, how crazy people were.
It's not that long ago.
We need to understand what a giant change has happened in our culture.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the best ways to really document it is to watch old shows. Watch what they accepted back then and watch what they accept today.
There's a newspaper article I just saw from somebody posted it, I think on Twitter, and it was they polled guys. It was an old newspaper article. They polled guys whether it's okay to spank a woman, and the answers
they pulled like 5 or 6 guys. It was an old article, and they were all like, absolutely, like she needs it. If she's out of line and she doesn't know what she's doing, you're just trying to help her. And this was a newspaper thing where they were like, see guys, it was to make you feel okay about spanking your lady.
Yeah, I tweeted that.
Oh, you tweeted that?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. I just saw an article.
Yeah, well, I might have retweeted it, but either way, I definitely tweeted it.
I thought that was
just hilarious.
Hysterical.
Yeah, if a woman needs it, should she be spanked?
The best part about it was...
Let's read it.
Yeah, it's so fucking funny.
Why not? Jesus Christ. If they don't know how to behave by the time they're adults, they should be treated like children and spanked. That ought to make them grow up in a hurry. If it doesn't at first, they'll soon get the idea. This is incredible.
Get the idea, eh?
Yes. When they deserve it, as a barber, I've got a lot of faith in the hairbrush. Oh, my God. I think there are certain cases when it is advisable. When it is, there's no reason why you shouldn't go right ahead and do it. I can't knock the idea. In my business, a man sets a lot of store by the results he can get with a hairbrush properly applied.
Nice little smack. Now, here's the counterpoint.
What does that mean, though? Sets a lot of store?
Maybe that's a business term back then.
A man sets a lot of store.
Are you ready for the counterpoint?
Yes.
Okay, there's none. Everybody agrees.
That's incredible.
That's the best part, is everybody takes the point of view.
Look at this guy, parking lot attendant from Brooklyn.
You bet.
Teddy Gillel.
You bet.
You bet. It teaches him who's boss. A lot of women tend to forget this is a man's world, and a lot of men who step down as boss of a family wish they hadn't. Spanking might help get back some of the respect they lost.
Look at Teddy.
That's Joey Diaz's cousin. What the fuck, cocksucker? Listen, cocksucker, spank them if they want it. William Davis. What does William say?
He's a toy factory owner.
Yes. Most of them have it coming to them anyway. If they don't, it will remind them of how well off they are. I subscribe to the theory that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Holy shit.
Whoa.
Look at him. Look at that evil-looking fuck. He looks like Rutger Hauer's brother.
Wow.
Does he look like Rutger Hauer and Robert De Niro fucked? He looks evil,
Actually,
man.
he looks like that one Holtzman.
Oh, yeah, he does a little like Holtzman. Imagine that guy spanking your wife. Let's hear what the other people say.
That's all. That was the last one?
Yep.
That's awful.
Did you check out my special bombing episode that I aired?
No, you told me about it. We were talking about it before the podcast, and it's funny, we're almost 3 hours in. We were going to mention it. Or 2 hours in. What the fuck happened? You were up in Winnipeg?
I was up in Winnipeg. I was doing this club that I've done many times called Rumors. It's an old club. It's a good club. And it was a Saturday night, and instead of like regular comedy club crowd, it happened to be like private event people, like a group of 80 was doing their corporate party. You know what I mean? So it wasn't individuals buying 1 and 2 tickets.
Right. It was just a giant group.
Giant groups. And there was like 3 groups. One was like 80, one was 60. So you don't it's more like you're doing a corporate, like you're doing a private event, you know? And I break it down if you want to listen to, it's episode 172 of Your Mom's House. And I play the audio from this thing falling off the rails. And I mean, it is like, there was a lady who worked at the club. She's been there 20 years. And she told me, she goes, I've never seen shit like that, even close to that before.
What happened?
It was, I think it's like a combination of things happening to make it fall apart that way. Basically, I went up there. I had one guy in the front row who I fucking, when you just hate somebody and you fixate on them, because like this one guy who was like kind of mumbling, talking, tagging everything I say.
Oh no.
He's like, yeah, I bet you'd like that. And you're like, what? What did you just say? And
wow.
I said, so one of those guys who I fucking absolutely lost my shit. I didn't lose my shit on him, but I kind of tried to straighten him out. And then there was one of the groups of like 50, 60 people was like being super loud and like the first, like really talking loud. And I went to talk to them. They were kind of like just like kind of shitty about it. And the thing is, like, it's different when you do a regular show and let's say you go after somebody or you go after a table, you're just working on 5 people maybe, right? A group that like but then everybody else in that room has nothing to do with them.
Right.
In this case, it was more like mob mentality, where when I was like, hey, go fuck yourself, then the group is like, you're talking to us.
Yeah.
You're not just talking to them, you're talking to my group of 80. So then it was like, no, fuck you. Like, but in unison, there's all of them. And then it just went, then I tried to put it back on the rails, which I was like, I'm sure I can. I've done this 1,000 times. Let me put this back together. Fuck you, man. Like, it was like,
they were yelling that at you?
Dude, they were booing in unison for like 15, 20 minutes.
The 80 people.
At this point, it was more than their group, so it was probably 200 people doing that.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So is their group and then other groups chimed in and started booing you too? Unrelated groups?
Yes.
Whoa.
It was pretty crazy.
Wow.
And then they're like, bring back the... I had a black feature act. They're like, bring back the black guy. Like, screaming it, man. And it went... And here's the thing. I resigned to the fact that it was so crazy. Mm-hmm. It was less emotional, and I talk about this on that episode, than your standard bombing. Like, when you're bombing... in a regular bombing where it's just not going your way, and you start to sweat, and you're like, man, this fucking sucks. I'm chewing dicks up here. But like, and that like emotionally affects you. This was different in that I felt like their response to me was so outrageous. Like, I felt like it was unwarranted how upset they were, that it affected me less. Like, I was just standing up there. I was like, all right, guys, here, ready for some more jokes as they're booing me. You know, like, I wasn't as flustered as I've been during a
real bomb.
Yes.
So you were just dealing with a giant group of cunts.
Yes.
A school of cunts.
Yes.
Swimming through your pond.
Yeah. Exactly. And
why didn't the club do something about that?
That's the only part I take responsibility. I try to make it clear on that episode that, like, I take responsibility for yelling at a guy, for insulting people. Like, I'm saying, I put it on myself that I made things go downhill. The club takes responsibility for kind of not really policing, and they, like, the one part is I told a guy that he had to go. I was like, you have to go. You're gone. See you later. And, you know, I've done that before. Sometimes you have to do that. Like, you're out of here, man.
Right.
And then they were like, the club came and talked, and they're like, just give him another chance. He's going to be good now. And I was like, I've already thrown him out. Like, we're not negotiating now.
Right. So the club asked to keep the guy there?
Yes. So
why did they do that?
I don't know. But they now realize that was fucked up. Like, I've talked to them, and they're like, that was our
Some
bad.
people you can give a second chance. I've most of the time I've asked clubs to leave people alone. Like, oh,
Yes.
they're okay.
Yeah.
They're just
I've done
don't
that.
do that again. And they'll say to them, like,
Yeah.
you can't yell shit out. It's too confusing.
I've done that a bunch of times. Like, he's okay.
Right.
But
Yeah,
this
yeah.
time, the difference was this time I was saying,
Get him out.
Get him out.
What was he saying to you while this is going on?
He was the mumbler, the tagger. And
Right.
like, so we had our first interaction. We had another interaction. I think the third time I said something to him. I was like, what the fuck did you say? I forget exactly what he said. And then I was like, oh, you're a tough guy? And he's like, do you want to step outside and find out? And I was like, you can go outside because you're out of here. You're done. Get out of my fucking show. It's my show. You're
Right.
out of here. And they were like, what? And his table, he goes, we all go. I go, great. Have a great night. Get the fuck out of here. I don't need you here. That's when the crowd, the problem, we felt like we were discussing what happened. I was talking about it with the club, the guy, is that a lot of people in that room didn't
hear
know
him.
what he was saying.
Right.
So
couldn't
they
hear
thought
him.
I was just attacking a guy for no reason.
Right. That makes sense.
But I was an asshole that night. I think I
But
was-
that's, the guy was clearly, he was instigating it.
yeah, he was a fucking cunt. He was a real cunt of a guy. And I didn't like him at all. And, I don't think that, like I always say, I don't have to be, like, pleasing to the different, like, I'm there doing comedy. You came to see my stand-up. If you're not liking it, that's cool. But if you try to take over the room, no.
Well, it's not just taking over the room, it's interfering.
Yeah, it's interfering.
He's interfering with the performance, and there's hundreds of other people
Yeah.
that have to deal with the fact that you have to deal with this guy.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all in how to do it and not lose your cool. And when you lose your cool, it's a bad scene. It's a terrible feeling too.
It's crazy, and the audio is insane. I mean, you've probably not heard
a bombing like that.
Yeah, it's not like a standard bombing. I mean, there's a lot of aggression from the crowd on it.
And how does it end?
Well, the best part, because I also was bummed at myself for not. I was like, you always look at moments where you're like, I wish I had said something funnier here.
Right.
This was an opportunity to be funny, really, So I was like, a lot of it, I was like, they won, like they defeated me. I was like, but the only funny thing I'd said was like, at one point, the manager came up to the stage, and he was like, "Are you okay?" Like he was checking. He came on stage and was like, because it was so crazy in there. He's like, "You all right?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Do you want to keep going?" I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Okay." So he leaves, and they're like, "Yeah, that's right. Get the," because they think he's telling me get off stage.
Right.
And I go. He asked me if you guys wanted me to bring back the other guy, and they go, "Yeah." Like they scream yes, and I go, "I told him you guys want more of me, so here I am for more jokes." And they're like, "Boo!" Like they go crazy. So they go so crazy at that part.
And these are Canadians too.
Yeah, they go fucking
some of the
bananas.
nicest people ever.
Yes. But in the very end, the lady who was running one of the private events that night, like she brought her group there. Mm-hmm. She was in tears. She was crying. And they brought her on stage. They were like, she wants to say something. And I was like, okay. Because my plan was just stay here the entire time, no matter what. Talk about recipes that you want to try. And just don't please them. Yeah.
Right.
She gets up there and she's like, please, I've done fundraisers here. Like, I really wanted this to be a good night. And I see how she's way affected by this. Please give him the respect of just your time, and just let him talk. And they're like, it's too fucking late for that. Fuck it. Like they're going crazy. Oh, right. Wow. And I see her she's defeated. It's like someone was beating her up.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God. And I go, you know what? This is 35 minutes in.
Right.
To what's supposed to be like a 55 minute set. So there's 20 minutes to go. I was like, you know what? I want her to have a fun night. It affected me that she was so. I was like, I'll tell you what, because you're a nice lady and blah blah blah. I go, I'll bring back the black guy. So I brought the black guy back on stage. Wow. And they went fucking. It was like I said, ladies and gentlemen, Dave Chappelle. Yeah, they went crazy. Wow. And I was like, dude, it's all you. And he was like, oh my God, I can't believe people actually like black people here. Like he was so excited.
Does he have any more material?
Yeah, he had his name. I should give him credit too. His name is Tricks.
That's his whole name?
Yes.
Like Silly Rabbit?
Tricks are for kids. Yeah.
Wow.
But
Tricks.
I mean, he goes.
Black guys can pull that off.
They can pull shit like that off. It's TRIXX, I think.
So that's on what episode of Your Mom's House?
172.
All right.
It's a fun episode.
Good for you, dude, for putting that audio up. That takes balls.
Yeah, I wanted to,
There's
man.
Tricks.
I was trying to. Yeah, there's Tricks. He did a good job, man. I totally give him credit.
Cool.
There's that site that I go to sometimes for that. Like, can I handle this? The e-fucked. You look at it and you're like
unnecessary.
Yeah, sometimes
can't even look at. We get submissions from
people send in their
fans.
stuff all the time,
I'm like,
and I'm
nah.
like, sometimes I'm like, that's crazy, and then sometimes I'm like, whoa, I can't handle that. That's makes my butthole pucker.
I do like the fart stuff. Like some guy sent us a guy. Yeah, it was a guy, and his nose was wedged firmly in this girl's butt crack, and then she saran wrapped his head to her butt.
And then she did errands, and she walked around the kitchen, and she turned the sink on, and
she's just farting.
And she's farting. He's like, And she's like, yeah, you like those dirty farts, huh?
Yeah, I like anything with saran wrap and
farts.
shit is funny.
Like sack lunch.
Sack lunch. There's this guy that has saran wrap diaper on, and he just the camera just pans to him, and he spreads his cheeks and fills it with diarrhea. The saran wrap. It's so funny. It's simple, but it's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Just like a meal, a fine meal.
What is
it's
good
so
about
funny.
that?
It's the sound, it's the timing. It kind of
it fills up fast.
it pans in just at the right, and then it turns ever so slightly, and the spread and the sound.
Yeah.
There's just something about someone
good.
relishing a woman's farts, like holding on to their cheeks with his nose. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh baby.
We talked about it for a while, and then people wrote in. People wrote in that were into it, you know, because we were like,
Yeah, tell us
and
about
then they were
this,
telling us, they were like, yeah, it goes back to like a pretty girl making something dirty, you know. So it's like,
Oh my
oh, I'm
gosh.
so embarrassed of what I did. So this guy, he wrote in that he was like my now his fiance, like, you know, knows and is cool, and like whenever she has to fart, she calls him over, and he gets so excited.
What the
fuck? He loves it. He loves it.
Come on, how strange are people? People are so strange. The variabilities of what people are attracted to. It's so
Wide
bizarre.
range.
Yeah, when you see like people that are into people that are so obese they can't get off the couch. There's guys that are turned on by that.
Feeders.
Yeah,
The feeding community.
Yes, they feed them.
Love that.
They feed
Yeah,
them.
And watch
so
them.
gross.
And then there's girls who that's a whole business for them, is like they set up a camera and they're like, I'm gonna eat cheese and cookies
I
today.
gotta get in this. I gotta get in this.
And then you get to watch them, you know, gain weight.
Should have done that.
That's their whole thing.
Or take dumps.
You should have done that. Like,
It's a great way to
this
make.
fucking comedy
Instead
thing
of
is bullshit.
Gotta use my brain to make a living. I
Make
should have
jokes, just shit in
Yeah,
bags.
yeah.
That would have been awesome.
just do it.
The idea of saran wrapping a guy's head to your ass.
so
is
great.
hilarious.
So funny.
And so is this guy crawling around as she does her stuff?
Yeah, it's in the kitchen.
Or-
and he just follows
Well, he
along.
needs those like sliders on his knee. And
It's a really good idea. We should suggest
Skateboard,
this.
maybe.
And we've played a lot of skateboard.
I'm gonna email this guy.
Well, I have these omnidirectional sliders that I work out with. I do abs with them. You know, they
Yeah.
slide. You can do them this way.
There
Do
you
your
go.
mountain
that
climbers
way.
with them.
I do all kinds of different shit.
There you go.
Yeah, you could put those on the guy's knee and just fart all around the house. As long as
Have
you
you-
have a hardwood floor.
There you go.
Have you seen King Ash Ripper's work?
Excuse me?
Oh, please, God,
please look him up.
What is that?
Oh,
Who
I'm
is this
so
guy?
This
excited.
guy, we've reached
What is
out a
it?
lot, offered him money, and he
What?
won't.
Yeah.
Yes, just because he's such
won't
a
come on our
creative
show.
guy.
What are you
And
talking
Maybe
about?
you could get him. Maybe the great Joe
Yes.
Rogan could get him with your powers.
King Ash Ripper,
Ass ripper.
yeah, hairy and gross, the lord of all farts and gluttony. He makes videos
Oh no!
of himself.
Oh, this is him.
Yeah.
King Ass Ripper. Oh, please give me some volume.
That's still. Oh no! Okay, he is moving.
Is that real?
Yes. Oh, go to Rippin' Massive Farts.
Yeah, go to Rippin.
One under it.
How do you know this is
they're-
real? Hold
they're-
on.
there.
Oh, because he has an opus. This
Hold
is
on.
just one of many.
What's up with his pants?
Yeah, he does.
So stupid.
It's getting brown there.
He's got 199,000 hits.
Yeah.
How many fucking stand-up bits online of 199,000
Not
hits?
mine.
He
So all this
comments.
guy
He
does is
comments.
just...
Oh, and he eats too.
He's a glutton.
So he's a
He's
glutton.
eating
He's
mayonnaise
eating
right out of the
mayonnaise.
thing.
This is like idiocracy.
know about this.
Know about him. We've studied his work forever.
Studies.
Look how brown it's getting back there.
My stomach hurts. He's so
So this
talented.
guy obviously isn't making money from this.
He should be making millions.
Does he have ads?
He's got to be making money if it's got this many
Well,
hits on YouTube.
here's the thing.
Not a ton, but some.
Does he have ads?
I like that he's just checking every
If he
drawer.
doesn't have ads,
What's in the microwave? Nothing.
Yeah, he likes to stage the scene, which is
oh
great.
my
Right.
god.
That's what we got in here.
What the fuck?
Damn. Yeah, raunchy ass.
This is so stupid.
It's the stupidest.
It's like he's got moths in his underwear drawer.
Dude.
Okay.
He's got some that are so brown that's clearly shit
I've
is
seen
falling.
enough.
There's,
What the
there's
fuck?
there's a Christmas one too.
Hairy, gross slob is his fucking...
Yeah,
Oh my god, look how many fucking videos he has with hundreds of thousands of hits.
dude, so many.
But he has to go to
Oh,
Live
this
Leak.
one is not much. Sausage, gravy, gluttony.
Because he's watch. You get to watch him eat. Oh, it's
I'm gonna throw up.
he's
Yeah.
so gross.
This one's hard to watch. This one's hard to watch.
His Christmas,
saliva is coming to the surface of my
his Christmas one,
His fucking Christmas special.
yeah, his
Yeah.
special. We found it on his Live Leak account. He has a lot on Live Leak. Like
He has to move it
montages.
from YouTube because YouTube will take him down. So
Why?
Live Leak,
They don't
I
like
don't know.
farts.
it's just not apparently. Maybe
I think it gets flagged a lot on YouTube. And on
Moms.
Live Leak's like, bring it on, dude. So
Someone's mom sees it. What is
Yeah.
What is my son being exposed to? Oh my god!
Farts.
Oh my god!
the mothering.
Mothering?
Harry.
What?
Well, we're talking a lot about crazy mothers lately.
over parenting. Yeah,
Well,
this is
in
a
this
divergent.
case,
He wasn't parenting
This
enough.
guy,
this guy.
this guy's got
or maybe was too much.
maybe this is
Maybe.
like rebellion, right?
Yeah.
Hates mommy.
Imagine if his mom finds out about this.
I think he lives at home still because we've studied the videos, and it seems as though these are like prior to that location. There was one that was just a bedroom and a basement, and I think he actually did live with his folks. And we've deduced that this might be like a fetish thing because it's gluttony and then farts, and he won't answer any of our tweets. Or
We had people just bombard him with email because he put an email in one, and we were on our show. We're like, everybody email, and like no response.
Joe,
nothing.
if you could get to the bottom of this, we'd really appreciate it.
I don't want to because I'm
you could-
terrified one
And-
day he'll be in here and farting in my fucking ergonomic chairs.
the family thing also is because on the Christmas one, you could tell it's a family home,
Yeah.
and there's stockings up. And he farts in every stocking. And then he goes, that's what you get from King Ass Ripper for Merry Christmas.
King ass ripper.
He's East Coast. Yeah.
He's probably gonna die. He probably has something wrong with his colon.
That's an
for
interesting
sure.
theory too.
And people have also brought about the theory that he is doing that, pushing air in there. You know,
Like
using
he's cheating, but
like he's cheating.
I don't believe that, Tom.
Like filling himself with air and then farting it because there's edits between each fart.
I don't
well,
know.
I would assume that he can't fart rapid fire that loud. I mean, you'd have to be some sort of a bag of wind, like a bag.
Some sort
His
of farting
ass has
genius.
to hurt, right? Like, because sometimes, I mean, regular farts, like, oh, that one stung
What
a
did
little.
you tell me your fart sounded like last night?
I thought yesterday, when you stay away from seafood for a while and then you reintroduce it, there's bacteria in that's different. It's in shellfish and sushi. And I thought yesterday when I farted, it sounded like somebody was throwing up. Like the fart sounded like a guy going, ah, like that.
I've only shaved my ass once.
Yeah?
in my
so
life.
hard to
but
do.
once I did, oh my god, my fart sounded so different.
Really?
No, they were like wet and sloppy. It's
Oh, the
like
hair
what's
kinda-
different.
Oh.
The hair in your ass literally changes the way your farts smell or sound rather.
Right.
Not smell. They smell the same, but they sound different.
You're like,
My farts were like slop slop. It was like slop 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 slop. It was like slop 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 slop.
something tells me King Asherberg doesn't shave. That's a whole
Yeah.
new area he could get into.
That's a whole monster down there.
that guy.
Can
you imagine dating that guy?
No, he doesn't have a
That guy
girlfriend.
doesn't have a girlfriend.
No, there's
That guy
no
gets
misses.
hookers.
What
makes you think
He
that?
scrapes up his YouTube like ad video money, and then he gets a hooker, and
There's
she's
no
every now
woman.
and then he farts on her. You like that? It's like, no, I hate it. He's like, you fucking loser, and then he leaves. My videos have 200,000 hits. People love
You're with
listening
the
to me
king
ripping
right
farts. What? No, you don't. I don't have the internet. Shut up.
Jesus Christ.
What the fuck? That's someone's baby. Someone had a
I was
little baby.
just thinking that.
That's
That
what
could
you
be
have.
your son.
Yeah,
You're like,
could be your son.
Could be our
Very-
son.
For
Yeah.
sure could be our son.
Might be.
Very close
Your
to it.
king like take the throne. The new king.
Let's hope
Hail
not.
to the new king.
I want him to go
Jesus.
toe to toe. I hope he takes it from him one day.
Take it to the next level.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, what is it about farts that are so hilarious?
It's the best. They're never not funny. They're never not entertaining because they're so taboo. You're never
Yeah.
supposed to do them in front of strangers. The smell, the sound, everything's
Everything
phenomenal.
about it
They're
is
sublime.
And the there's
sublime.
the people that love them versus don't like it. I think that's all rooted in if your household was okay with farts or not.
It's
you know?
class, and we had none growing up, so that's why we're Euro trash. So we loved farts and poopy talks.
Was farts? Was it talked about in your house? Was it?
No. My house was lacking in any sense of humor.
Oh
when I
my
was growing
God.
up.
Really?
Yeah, no one was funny. No one was funny. No one had any. Everyone was like, "Don't be a loser. Stop being a loser."
Really?
Yeah.
Stop being a loser,
my
dummy.
God. It was always, "You're gonna be a loser. Your grades suck. You're gonna be a loser." Excuse me, I'm still coughing from the fart.
Sublime farts?
I literally almost threw up when he was eating the hot dogs or sausage and the gravy.
Oh.
Dude.
Like saliva was coming to the surface of my throat. Now I'm dealing with
You
that
should
right
see
now.
the one. Sometimes he farts on what he's going to eat.
It's true. It's true.
So gross. He's like, 5 burritos. I'm gonna
oh my
fart.
God.
Little Debbie's, 12 of them. And then you're like, all right. And he turns around. He's like, I'm going to fart on them. And he farts on them. And then he eats them.
Why are you farting?
Yeah.
He's got to be eating some of his own shit, right?
For
the
sure.
particles.
There's a video where he gets a bucket of KFC and dips every fried piece in mayo and eats it. It's
God.
so horrible.
Stop.
Oh,
stop.
Why is your picture next to his when they do a Google search?
That's my picture. It's your picture. If you Google search that guy,
Tom's picture.
why is that true? That's true. That's so crazy.
There he is.
That is all wrong. All wrong in
So
every
handsome
way.
there, Tommy.
I do kind of look. There was a time
stop.
where our listeners thought that I might be him.
Get this away. Him. James, I literally almost threw up. Whoa.
There is one.
God
we won't
damn.
describe anything. There's nothing gross about this description. But one time, because he's a eater, he's like, I got 8 sausage and egg McMuffins, and then he's tallying it, and he's like, these are 250 calories.
Yeah.
And then I got egg and cheese, 300 calories. 9 of those. You do the math.
You do that.
Because he wants you to know how many calories he's eating.
But he's not that fat. He just has
No.
a gut.
No.
Yeah, he's just got gut on him.
Yeah, it's not like he doesn't have some sort of Ralphie May thing going on.
No.
Where he's like remarkably obese.
Sadly, that guy lives his life like absolute shit every day, and I'm fatter than him. Like he definitely does not give a fuck ever, and he's not that out of shape.
But you think that's an act? I mean, maybe he's like
No.
some customer service representative for like Toyo Tires or something.
You know what,
know.
Joe? I might agree. Have I not watched many of his films? And we've gone over the data, the footage for about a year and change. We've had like a long time with King.
He claims to be in Michigan, by the way. He claims to be a
Yes.
Michigan guy.
How long has he been doing this?
It's been a few years.
Yeah.
So, do you think he tentatively dipped his toes into the pool of ass fart videos, or did he just fucking decide he's the king?
He calls himself
He's the king. Yeah.
From the jump, though? I mean, did you go back
don't
to
know.
his library?
interesting.
To his earlier
There's videos where he's like, I challenge anybody to fart like I can't. Like he owns it, you know?
He farts on his haters.
Yeah, he farted on all his haters.
He
Yeah,
shows his face, too.
yeah he didn't. Yeah.
Do you think that guy gets recognized?
Yes.
Do you think that he, like, one day he's at Golden Corral and then, like, that's you?
You mean White
You're
Castle?
The king. You're the
But-
king.
Getting shrimp nibblers.
The
at White
king's here.
I think I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that I don't know if he's all mentally well. I think he might be.
Wait a minute.
So
You're
think,
taking a big leap.
I think if you do approach, you're like, you're king, and he's like, and like he farts and leaves.
Farts on you. Can you fart in my face, please, sir? Your Grace.
That would suck to get
I would like to go at
be
him
known for
serious,
that.
Will you
like
fart
walk
on
up
me,
to him
Your
and be like,
Grace?
dude, I could fart bigger than you any day, like that, you know, and have him be like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm the king. Dude, name the
But
spot.
that-
Well, what if he can only fart on his own? What if, like, if you challenge him, he just locks up? He just panics.
Oh, right.
That's interesting.
Yeah, maybe
He
he gets
can't
stage
compete.
fright.
Wow.
That's why he does it all alone in his kitchen.
And
He's
why he
not on
doesn't-
stage somewhere.
And he doesn't
This is
respond to
true.
the emails.
Let me ask you this: if that guy put on a show somewhere, like he had a small club, like maybe
$50 I would
Zanies in
pay.
Chicago, like some 150 seater,
Yeah.
do you think he could fill a place? Do you think he can get 100 people in there?
I would endorse
Listen
people to go.
Yeah,
I would
we
encourage
would
people to go.
push hard.
I would buy a ticket.
Guy can make some money if he
Yeah.
could fart like that all the time. He can make some money.
Well, I mean, that's why I'd like him to contact us. We could have him open for your mom's house podcast live.
Yeah.
No, you couldn't. You'd shit on your fucking microphones. Hey, you want to hear it? Here it is. Bah! Sorry. No. And you try to clean it up and do your show. And the whole audio. I'm starting to throw up. Okay. I'm starting to throw up.
Everybody would
thinking
get
about the
so
smell of
upset.
shit.
Oh, we thought this was gonna be cool. This guy's shit everywhere.